Om Tat Sat. Shall we listen to a story from Grandpa? Story of Animal World. There was an elephant. No, I'll come in the reverse direction. There was a prince of a kingdom. He had earned a notorious name for himself. He was very rude, very aggressive and violent, dictatorial. He treated his own subject as his slaves, treated them rudely, got his personal work done through force, looted them, snatched their money and property, and he also was rude to the women folk. So he had naturally earned a very bad name, notorious name for himself. But his position as prince was saving him from reaction, angry reactions. Those were the days of Sri Gautam Buddha. He used to travel from town to town with his all disciples, hundreds of them. On reaching a town, he would camp in the town. The disciples would go around in the town, take a street or take a location, an area for themselves, meet the people, discuss philosophy with them, and taking alms, beg for food and survive. In the evenings, Gautam Buddha used to hold satsang where all the disciples were expected and even the people, general public. Then the disciples are expected to spend the nights on those streets, under a tree or on a platform. That was his routine for his disciples. So he had come to this town of this prince and he has camped there. All were surprised when this prince, Rajakumar, approached Sri Gautam Buddha with a request for initiation into the path of sannyasa, renunciation. The other disciples suggested to Sri Gautam Buddha, no, he should not be given sannyasa diksha. He is not fit for it. He has a very reputation, very bad reputation among the people of this state, this town. So he should not be given. That was the suggestions of all the disciples to Gautam Buddha. But Gautam Buddha didn't listen to this, and he asked the prince to report the next day, early morning, for initiation into renunciation. The prince came prepared for the occasion, and Gautam Buddha initiated into the field, into the path of renunciation. He changed his name. He gave him a new saffron colored, orange colored dress, as though he has taken a new birth. It's a rebirth, taking into sannyasa. Then he asked the prince to take a particular street for his survival, for food and rest in the night and meeting people. The prince reaches that street. When he was hungry by forenoon, he approaches one particular house, knocked at the door and said, "Bhavati bhiksham dehi," Mother, please feed me. The householder came out. He could identify this mendicant, sannyasi, as a former prince. He was himself affected by a crude behavior of this king prince. So this was an occasion, this was the moment for him to take revenge. He banged shut his door with vulgar words. The prince returned. He approached one more house. That housekeeper, he was not directly affected, but he had heard about this prince, so he didn't give him any food. This was the repeated experience in all houses he approached. Then he remained without food, hungry, went to the satsang in the evening, listened to Gautam Buddha's speech, and then returned to the same street. Every house had a platform outside for travelers, but none of the householders wanted this prince to use that platform for sleep. So he had to sleep under a tree. He lied down, having lived in the palatial kingly buildings with all comforts. It was a new discovery for him that there were so many dogs on the street, all howling and barking in the night, throughout the night. Then there were so many mosquitoes. He could not take a proper sleep. He was frustrated. He was irritated. He said, "I'll return this sannyasa initiation. Tomorrow this will be the first work I'll do." So he goes in the morning to Gautam Buddha. Gautam Buddha, when this prince comes near, Gautam Buddha says, "So you have come to return the sannyasa diksha?" The prince was surprised. He was a bit ashamed, but he knew he can't do it. So he remained silent. When Gautam Buddha further added, "The courage, the patience, the pertinence that you showed as an animal, as an elephant, why do you refuse to show the same when you are a human? The same courage, the patience. You are so restless, you have lost heart in just one day." This prince didn't get it. Then the Gautam Buddha says, "You were an elephant in the last birth, king of a herd of elephants." This Rajakumar, the prince, was surprised. So Gautam Buddha places his thumb over his forehead, and as a flashback, the prince recollected the incidents of his previous life. There was a dense forest. This herd of elephants walked around with all their arrogance, the vanity of strength. Any hurdle, an elephant can cross over all these hurdles of plants and trees. They can uproot trees. So that was the arrogance in their walk. And that herd was led by this elephant, who was born later as the prince. Then, when they were in the forests roaming around, there was a sudden forest fire. And as we all know, the forest fire spreads, and it instantly spreads. It becomes uncontrollable, because the whole forest is full of wood, and there are many dry shrubs and woods, trees which catch fire, and the fire goes around spreading in all directions. The animals ran helter-skelter, wanted to save their lives, get out of this fire. But as they ran in panic, they forgot the direction, and they were more and more trapped, getting trapped in the fire. These elephants also ran for their lives. The king of the elephants, Gajendra, he also ran for his life. He ran and ran with all his might, with all his strength. Then he was aghast for breath. So he stood under a tree, wanted to take some rest, soften and quieten his breath, normalize his breath. So he stood there under the tree for a few minutes, but the fire didn't wait for him. It was at a fast rate, it was approaching. Seeing the fire, the animal, the Gajendra, the king of elephants, he just wanted to run, take the run, and he lifted his front right leg, just ready for running. And the very moment, the very second, a small cub of a hare, tortoise, ran under his foot. It thought it is an umbrella for him. And it says so. Oh, I've got a protective umbrella. Now I'll be saved. The elephant's eyes are very small, but its sight is very sharp. So it notices the cub of the little tortoise, hare. And it also hears its words. For a second, it just forgets its own life, its own self, the approaching fire. It feels this hare should be saved. It has taken to my shelter. It has come in my shelter. And protection of the one who seeks shelter is the duty. So I'll do it. So it refuses to place the raised up leg on the ground. It refuses to run. It just stands still as a statue to save the small hare, rabbit. That very moment, he is surrounded by fire in all directions, and the elephant is roasted alive. The rabbit is also roasted alive. And Sri Gautam Buddha says that noble intention of trying to save the animal which has taken shelter, that intention was the cause for his rebirth as a prince of a state. Rebirth in a family of richness, in a rich atmosphere, in a rich family, with all comforts and pleasures. And then the same was the cause for his desire to become a sannyasi, renunciate. Sri Gita, Sri Krishna says in Gita, Nahi kalyan krit kaschid durgatim tata gacchati. The intention, noble intention, benevolent intention, that no matter whether the effort resulted in the desired direction, desired fruits, or it was a failure, like here, the elephant could not save the rabbit. Yet, the noble intention, one who takes to noble intention, he is never doomed, assures Sri Krishna in the Gita. He is never doomed. And Gautam Buddha says that intention at the moment of death, the noblest intention of saving other life, at the moment of death, that gave him such a beautiful elevation, and he was born as a prince. Not only that, he had the great fortune of getting initiated at the hands of Sri Gautam Buddha. The intentions are very important. May not be the actions, but intention behind the actions are very important, very crucial. Okay, that's for the day. We'll stop this session. Meet you with a different story tomorrow. Story from my grandpa. Om Tat Sat.